Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It was a fantastic day spent so far listening to some of the sharpest minds in India dealing with finance. Personally, it also gave me a wonderful opportunity to reconnect with some of my friends in the industry, some of my colleagues, and many of you whom I have worked closely with. And thanks to Cafemutual for the wonderful topic that they have chosen, where someone like KFin Tech can partner with you through service and technology to take it to the next level. Over the next few minutes, I'll briefly dwell on how we can partner with you to take business to the next level. And I think you heard the ma'am say about the song. There's another popular song by Queen which says, I want to break free also. So probably you as intermediaries will help India break free from these suboptimal returns and become truly wealth accumulators for Indians. Let me point to this slide. Last month we were 40 trillion as an MF industry. We have something like 76 trillion lying in current accounts and savings bank accounts earning suboptimal returns. Probably that is your target, to shift them into the mutual fund industry. We heard Saurav talk about India being at an inflection point, and I think that's what we will try and help you do that. So where does KFin fit into the scheme of things for you? We are a transaction processing agent, but I strongly believe not anymore. I would urge you to think of us as a strategic business partner whom you can ride on to build your business. And when we look at the kind of value systems we talk about your success, the success of the AMC that we serve, the success of you as the intermediaries who bring in the AEM, and the investors that we all serve together. And the KFin Tech of today is completely different from the one that one would know of, led by a man who trained to be a chartered accountant but thinks tech all the time. And it's brilliant to work with someone like him shoulder to shoulder to bring some of the solutions which will make life easy for you and grow your business. So we spoke about service as a differentiator. And this is something which I always used to kind of debate with my colleagues earlier. I used to head marketing also in the AMC I was before. So always the play was, can service be a differentiator for the brand? I think yes. How can it be? What is service all about? It's about the experience that you provide to your investors. It's about how close you are to the customer's needs and how close can you bring alive the desires of a customer before he actually articulates that to you. And we spoke about solutions. And let me share this with a few insights from some of successful distributors here. I'm just showcasing this because I know them well, not to take away from the merits of all of you here. If I had the opportunity, I would have been more than happy to showcase some of your achievements also. Rupa is somebody who's all too familiar with people in the industry. Just 2 decades back, she started the business. From earning 20,000 per month to growing her business to around 1,500 crores in less than 2 decades. On February 5th, she completed 2 decades in the industry. She thinks of 2 things. One, service as an enabler, and of being connected with the investors to know what they really want. I had great pleasure to listen to Hari today. Hari Kamath and I go back to maybe 2001 when we used to work shoulder to shoulder together. I was a branch manager at Goa of UTI Mutual Fund. And what used to amaze me was when you walk the streets of Goa, you used to hear him recognize people by name. And today he handles a book of more than 6,000 customers. I'm sure he remembers most of them by name. And he also spoke of, the way he has been able to create wealth for individual. I'm so happy that probably I can take pride that I was the one who introduced him to equity schemes in mutual funds. So let's talk about investor expectations as well as expectations of an intermediary. Very simple. And this is what I would imagine you expect of us. If you are giving us an application, we need to give it back to you without errors, on time, processed completely, and without rejections. And if we can provide you clear communication and status updates, I think life is made. This is where we would like to provide a virtual office to you. We provide a virtual office, which is the DIT platform. And whatever the service expectations I spoke of, when service is in your hands through this platform, all of that can be met. And this is what I would urge you. It's a service which is free, which is intuitive, and which can really grow your business. Today, we have, I'm sure you all know that we process something like 1.5 million transactions in a single day. And a large number of intermediaries are making the shift to this platform whereby, we are providing a convenience, a virtual office in your hands. I'm not saying that we are the best, but I'm sure we as an organization, we are listening to you. We are improving, we are learning, we are building. I like to just highlight 2-3 points here. This is what is on the cards. And particularly, I would like to talk about building analytics into the space whereby we will be able to enrich your business by providing data based on customer behavior, which will help you make informed decisions. Also, to support you, we have set up a dedicated team at our Hyderabad office. Also, the last mile connect, if in case there is somebody who wants to talk to one of my colleagues in, let's say in Chandigarh, there is somebody there. If suppose somebody wants to talk to my colleague in Cochin in Malayalam, there is somebody there. So at each of our regions, we have our people. Also, when I was talking to one of my ex-colleagues who has now become a successful entrepreneur in this mutual fund space, he was talking about mailback services, and he is none other than Suraj Keli. 1996, when he was in Templeton, probably I would imagine he was the first one to talk about SIPs and probably the father of SIP. So he highlighted to me the number of reports which are available free on the platform, as a mailback service. And he said, Gladdy, this is something which you should talk about and highlight to the community. So what we offer is on procurement. When you do a sale, has it been accepted, processed, or rejected? On your customers, especially this will be useful for some of you who have been working in the industry for many long years. Investors who are not at KYC compliant, investors whose details are not available, investors whose bank details are not available, email, mobile not updated. Going on to systematic transactions, we all heard from Pesi how pivot SIPs is really critical, and I really like the idea he spoke about step-up SIP, which I would encourage you all to look at. This these reports provide you a wealth of information on systematic transactions. Move on to the brokerage part. That is something else again which gives you a whole idea about where you are earning from and what you should be looking at, while also giving you inputs on the health of your business. Who are your top customers? Whom should you approach again? And how profitable are some of these investors, whether they are your frequent investors and all of that. So let me take a few minutes also to talk about technology quickly and how probably we will help you further grow your business. This is just to talk about a little bit about KFin. It's not about it's, and I would like to showcase this with all humility. Today, we are more a tech company than anything else. Most of the conversations I have today are not with the ops team, but with my tech team. And you have a whole lot of them sitting together to provide solutions with a real cutting edge and probably will help you able to serve your investors on a real-time basis. One of the things that we could do because of the computing capabilities was we introduced a product called InstaPay or Insta Brokerage, whereby earlier, if you know, your brokerage or commission used to get paid maybe well after the 10th of every month. Today, we are in a position to do that on the 3rd business day of every month. We are in a position to provide the funding files to the AMCs, but then whether the AMC requires to further check it or not, it's up to them. But we are in a position to provide that to the AMCs, and many AMCs are paying you on the 3rd day. We have also made available this product whereby if you have commission accrued and you want to use that as a drawdown facility, you want to use that to meet your liquidity requirements, you can do that like this. And just like you can draw money from your ATM, you are able to do that. I'd also like to point out some of the other enhancements which technology has allowed us to do. We are in a position to issue statements of account in overnight and liquid funds in less than 15 minutes if the money is coming through us electronically. We are in a position to process non-commercial transactions in less than 60 minutes. However, it comes at a cost, but then the comfort and confidence that you can provide to an investor that his transaction request is completed, processed, is something awesome. We are in a position to also, introduce some of the other features purely because we are banking on technology. And I would like to also highlight the use of AI and machine learning to prevent frauds. While we move the digital path, you wouldn't realize that the number of attempts being made by people to defraud our investors. But thanks to AI and ML, we are able to up our game too. One more development that we have done is to use business intelligence, analytics, and insights to build a big data platform for the AMCs. But I see an opportunity by which I would be able to provide large distributors like you who have large client bases to customize offerings to your investors. I would like to again highlight some of the features we are working on, especially on the campaign management, which allows me to kind of construct a campaign for you using some intelligence by which I can kind of build on the investor database down to an ARN level. I can tell them probably which schemes you should tell to whom, when you should say, and provide links to, I can send links to your investors. They can use QR codes to invest and probably with the OTM's mandates registered make the payments. And you guys can get paid in 48 hours. This is something which we are so proud to do for you. Some of the other things which is being worked on, I am excited by the Financial Super App, which allows you to sell or provide solutions across asset classes to your investor. You heard Saurav talk about how probably mutual fund industry could be overtaken by, not overtaken, but probably, let me put it this way, PMS and AIF could come into relevance more. Probably this will be an opportunity for you. And also another thing which I am excited by is a practice for intermediaries. Today, we all know, I'll just wrap it up. Today, we all know that, we mutual fund sahi hai, but then where is my advisor? How do I connect with him? How do I identify him? Is there a way we can rank the intermediaries, provide a rating for our intermediaries, and then allow the, investor to choose whom he wants? And finally, this is where I would request your help. We today are looking at timelines whereby we need to update PAN, link the PAN to the Aadhaar. On KYC, there are so many folios where your commission is not getting paid because the investor is not KYC compliant. Please look at those folios, help your investor become compliant, earn the commission, also enable them to transact. And finally, on some of the, I also see, because I'm there in KFin, I see large distributors again pushing paper. My humble request is if you can help in digital adoption, that will be fantastic for us and help us improve our services. One last thought, where probably we can all bring it together, and a fantastic friend and ex-colleague. I won't get into it, but I'll just talk about the Rolls-Royce here. He is one guy who is a visionary who says, Gladdy, I've been investing in SIPs and I want to buy a Phantom, a Rolls-Royce Phantom. Probably on-street price would be something like 15 crores. He says, I want to provide this demonstration effect to my investors, give them a free ride around Bombay in my car and tell them mutual funds, sahi hai, and this is the option, the way to do it. I'll also share another interesting story he shared with me a few days back. An investor who was his client for the last 7 years came to his office along with his 2 children, not adults, children aged 11 and 13, who the proud father wanted to introduce to mutual funds at such a tender age. So that's the kind of influence you have on the investor and the community. I wish you the very best, and I would imagine that probably all of you are one day proud owners of the Rolls-Royce. Thank you. All the best.